for WSTU 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
It's time now for the Casey Ingram Show on WSTU. The opinions expressed are those of the program host and guest and not necessarily those of WSTU. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's time to call in with your questions and comments at 220-9788, 220-WSTU. And now, here's Casey Ingram.
Good morning, and pleasure to have everybody back here. It's a rainy, chilly day here on the Treasure Coast in Stewart. A little unusual for us, but it is winter, so got our winter clothes out and we can enjoy it for a couple days. One thing for certain, we'll be back to warm and sunny days before you know it, and ahead of this week's Martin County Fair. So it's going to be a wonderful week. I'm going to have a couple great shows today. But before we get into the show, of course, I want to go over and thank my sponsors. First of all, forbearances, working remotely, internet shopping, retail space, and rental income have been hit hard by COVID. If you're looking to restructure your debt, obtain financing or equity, Commercial Mortgage can help you out. Tim Mullen at Commercial Mortgage has been providing debt restructuring services since 2003. Tim never charges a front fee, and all consultations are free. Tim only gets paid if he provides you a debt workout. Looking for a debt solution or financing? Give Tim a call at 772-872-6099 or visit commercialmortgagellc.com to schedule your free consultation. Indiantown Marina, it is one of South Florida's best boat storage facilities there is. It's located inland on Lake Okeechobee, so you have a safe hurricane hole. We're not worried about hurricanes yet, but that's coming, and I would highly suggest you reserve your spot today because those spaces fill up quickly when a hurricane is named, and many times people are scrambling and they can't find a spot. But you can reserve them now and have peace of mind. You'll have a place to store your boat. And it's also a do-it-yourself and full-service boat yard. You have the best of all worlds there. They can do electrical, mechanical, prop and shaft work, bottom painting, boat sitting, and so much more. So give them a call at 772-631-3272, 631-3272. And finally, I love this area of Martin County. It's the Pocket out in Port Salerno, and down there we have the Fish House Art Center. There's so much at the Fish House Art Center. It's more than just art. There's artists, there's an Airbnb, an art gallery, boat charters, marina, craft and creamery. They sell wine, beers, and 24 flavors of ice cream. So there is something there for the whole family, and it's just a wonderful area of Martin County. You can check out the Fish House Art Center online before you head out there. It's thefishhouseartcenter.com. Give them a call, 772-221-5482. And then again, that's in Port Salerno, the Fish House Art Center. So today, I am so excited. We are going to have a lot of fun every year right before the fair, which is coming up right now, February 11th through 19th. I'd like to have and speak with our hardest working members here in the county. And when I say that, it's because these kids work all year long for this 1 week, and it's their week to shine. So I am so proud. For those of you that are watching on Facebook Live, you can actually see my guest, and right to my immediate right, we have a very special guest. Her name is Grace, and this is your first year in 4-H, Grace?
Yes.
Yes, and we're going to hear so much more about Grace. She also has the honor of being my youngest guest ever. So congratulations. I'm so proud that you decided to come on the radio on my show. So Grace is just 6 years old. Off to the right, we have our wonderful 4-H coordinator, Natalie Parker. And Natalie, you have been on here before, and I love having you on the show, and there's just so many great things in the 4-H program that we talk about off air, as well as thankfully you're able to round up everybody once a year for me so I can get to talk to some of these 4-Hers that
It's
work
all
so
about
hard.
the roundup.
It is, I bet it is. Well, folks, they're in school right now, so it's tough to really be able to find kids that can come in during this time. So thank you so much for all of you being able to come in. In the back with the lighter blue t-shirt, we have Vera. And Vera, how many years have you been in 4-H?
I've been in 4-H for 8 years, but I've been showing for 7.
Wow, 8 years and you've been showing for 7. And this year you're showing?
Cattle.
I'm
showing a steer, a beef heifer, and a dairy heifer.
So not just one, 3 of them. That
Yes,
is a
ma'am.
lot of work. So I'm going to come right back to you here in a second, and I want to introduce our last guest here. This is Madison. And Madison, you've also been in 4-H for how long?
About 7 years. I've been showing for 7 years.
7 years as well. And this year you said you've got a full boat as well. Swine or pigs, turkeys, and rabbits. So this is really exciting. So I'm going to go around. We're going to start here. We'll do a reverse order. I'm fool you a little bit here. Madison, tell us what's involved with showing swine.
Well, it involves a lot of work because you have to raise the hog from when they're about, I want to say, 4 months old. And you work from beginning of more September all the way to fair, learning them how to walk, how to keep track of their weight because they have to be a certain weight to get into the fair. And making sure like they stay clean and their health, with the health of it.
Oh, well, now wait a minute, Madison. You got to make sure they stay clean. Pigs like to wallow in
Yes,
the mud.
they
How
do.
do you do that?
Yes, they love the mud. Just making sure like you spray them off with a clean area and then putting them back into their, wherever you keep them, in their pens, their stalls, wherever works for the people that are showing them. And it's a lot. It's not, everyone thinks it's easy. It's a lot of work to go into it for fair as well, because you want to make sure make sure they stay weight, because they have to be at weigh and they have to be a certain weight to get into the fair.
Okay. So that would be disappointing, I suppose, if you work on them all year and the hog does not weigh enough.
Yeah.
So it's very important you probably have check-ins throughout the year to make sure they're on track, or you just kind of estimate it, knowing they need to grow. And
Yeah.
and by the way, when they're 4 months old, they're much smaller. I'm sure they grow so much in that year.
They're huge now.
They grow quickly, don't they?
They do.
So, all right, what is your pig's name?
Well, his nickname, I should say, is Gilbert.
Gilbert, okay.
But he doesn't really have a name.
Okay. Not Bacon or anything. Okay.
No, he doesn't really have a name. He's not allowed to have a
Very
name.
good, very good.
Kids call him Gilbert.
So when you're showing Gilbert, what is the toughest thing that you have to address? And first of all, do you have a halter or a leash on the pig? How do you show them?
You have almost like not a stick, but it's almost like a crop almost, or a whip. And you have to tap them on their shoulders to have control of them. There's nothing you can, like, no leash, no nothing. So
do they listen when you tap them on the... Is that really their control? Is there a special key there?
Well, you have to teach them to respond to the stick. If you tap them on, like, your left shoulder, tell them they go, like, left or right. Most of the time they do listen. Sometimes sometimes they get too excited and they're all happy to be out. But
So, folks, I have to tell you, I have absolutely seen 4-H'ers show swine before, and it is very entertaining. It's a lot of fun, and these kids work hard. But at the end of the day, they're animals, and they have a mind of their own. Yes. So
yes,
they don't always listen, and I think, Madison, you said before you came on the show, you can practice as much as you want, but once you enter that ring, you don't know what those little guys are going to do.
No.
So you also have turkeys and rabbits. What's involved with preparing a turkey for the fair?
Well, with the turkey, there's not, like, no weight or anything. You just want to make sure they're healthy and they stay with their feathers. Make sure they're not really coat, but their feathers are all nice and pretty. And for the turkeys, it's a little harder. But some kids like to bring out, like, they're like animals to hold them and stuff.
Yes.
The turkey that I'm showing, she's very good with that. She gets used for learning. She goes places, and we teach other people about turkeys or chicken or poultry. And just being raised and staying, like, healthy and clean.
So when you show them to the judges, what's involved with that? What are they judging that turkey on? How clean and how well it's behaved, or does it have to fly? Does it have to do anything special?
Well, it's my first year doing it. Okay. I've done a bunch of things, but it's my first year showing poultry, so I don't really know.
Okay, we'll see. And then finally you said rabbits. So we have two people in the studio that show rabbits. What is involved with getting your rabbit ready?
Well, with that, I can tell you, because I've done that many times. For the rabbits, you do actually bring them out onto the ring, and you talk to the judge, and the judge will ask you questions. She'll feel your rabbit. You want to always, like, throughout the year, make sure you brush your rabbit, take care of it, clip their nails. Because they're with their coat, they will have layers. So it's kind of easy to tell if the bunny's been brushed, if it's not been brushed, if it's been taken care of. Because bunnies are very sensitive animals. So they do know the difference between a well-kept bunny and a bunny that just...
One that just hasn't been handled.
Yeah.
I understand some
Yeah,
people actually
some-
have them as pets.
Yes.
Sometimes in the house they can actually be potty trained.
Yes.
It sounds like that'd be a difficult thing to do, but they're very smart little
Yes.
animals, aren't they?
Oh, yes.
Well, that is wonderful. So you have 3 different things in the fair. I don't know if you or Natalie, when do the swine show? What day? Do you know?
So we have one show that is Monday evening, and I believe that's at 7 p.m. And I believe the second one is Wednesday evening. So and there's a showmanship portion as well as just like sort of for the physical presentation. The showmanship is what Madison was describing, where you're trying to, it's like herding cats, of course, where you're trying to,
Yes.
you're trying to make a very independent and sometimes excitable animal do something with a bunch of its friends in a ring, and it can be extremely chaotic. So it takes an enormous amount of skill and patience and communication with your animal to make that a successful showmanship. So.
And it is. It's a tremendous amount of work and a lot of fun to watch. So it's good luck to you on that. Vera, you are showing cattle.
Yes,
And you have a
ma'am.
little background with the swine, but you're going to stick with the cattle for the Martin County Fair.
Yes, ma'am.
Are they a little easier to control?
It honestly really depends on what their temperament is, because you can have a really, really sweet cow, and their size is obviously a struggle too, because it's a big animal.
They
and
are large. I mean,
they know when they're in control sometimes, so you really have to show them who's boss. Well, their temperament, they're easy when you work with them constantly. Like, they're almost like a sport. Like, you have to keep up with it to keep going.
so you don't just go in once a week,
No.
pet them and leave. It's an everyday type of
It's an
work.
everyday work. Like, you can definitely, like, it's kind of the same with rabbits. Like, you can definitely tell when they're not taken care of, because their hair has to be trained. Like, they have to be kept up with. They have to be wormed. They have to be weighed, because that's what it's all about.
And don't they have to stand a certain way? Their feet have to be in a
Yes,
certain
ma'am.
place when you're
So-
showing them?
Their back foot, their front feet are always going to be square, and their back feet, the judge is usually on the left side of the cattle, and so their back foot in the back is always going to be like kind of back more.
Okay.
So it's called a side profile, and that's usually when you're like butt to butt, but when you're like side by side, you have them square.
Oh, okay.
Because
okay.
the square can show like what your cattle is built with the muscle, and it just gives the judge more views.
So they're looking at the conformation of the cattle as well while you're showing them. And you have to make them look their best at every moment when the judge is in
Yeah.
the ring. And folks, this is one of the reasons why I love to do this show. You have no idea how much work these kids put into their projects for all year. It's a tremendous amount of work. And, as Vera just said, it's not a one-day-a-week thing where you go out and pet the cow, and you got to teach them to lead. They don't know that. And it's truthfully of any of these large animals in particular, if you don't start working with them immediately, it's a big task. So,
Oh, yeah.
and it remains a big task. And then you have the fair. There's lights, there's sounds, there's other cattle, and you never know what they're going to do either. So it's an interesting project, a lot of work. You bathe the cattle?
Yes, ma'am. I try to bathe my cattle every other day, and if I can't do that, we have a blower, so I like to blow them or brush them off, because it's just like helps control dandruff, and like I said, train their hair, because their hair can get all crazy sometimes, and so especially if you have a
We know that
cow.
feeling.
The humidity.
Yeah,
Bessie's
especially.
like, oh.
Yeah, it's a big thing, because their hair can get all curly sometimes, and like if you have a slick cow, and their back legs, the back legs is definitely one of the struggles, because back leg hair just wants to do its own thing, really. I mean, it does take quite a amount of work to train it.
to get it
But-
to do what you want it to do, hopefully.
Yeah, especially with fluffy cows. I don't think people realize how much work that is. Every day, twice a day sometimes.
As you're walking through the fair again, it runs from February 11th through 19th. It's opening up this weekend, the Martin County Fair. And look at the cattle. That's something to think about as you're looking at them. Do they have fluffy hair, short hair, long hair? And if it looks really pretty, think about how much work went behind that. So, And you see them all in the barn. They're lined up. They're just wonderful animals. And you guys pretty much stay there for the week taking care of these animals, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a lot of
We
fun,
have to make
but
sure
a
that
lot of
their
work.
stalls are all clean, because you want to have a nice representation for
All about
people coming
presentation.
through.
That's right. Everybody wants to see the cows and how pretty they are. They sound like they really get pampered if they're with Miss Vera over here. So the Pampered Cow Farm over here. And you have 3 of them, you said, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's incredible. So tell me again, what's the difference between the 3 cattle that you have?
Okay, so I have a steer, which is my market animal that I sell. A steer and a bull, they're 2 different. Like, a steer can no longer breed.
Okay.
It's like, it's been neutered.
There you go. Good way to put it.
Those are your market animals that you sell.
Okay.
Then a beef heifer. A heifer is actually a female cow that hasn't had a calf yet.
Okay.
And then a cow is like a cow that has
She's
had
been a
calf.
maman.
Yes. And then a dairy, obviously, is where all your milk comes from.
The
all
good
your-
stuff, the ice cream,
ma'am.
cheese, all the good stuff. So I want to talk a little bit, too, before we head over to Grace. I'm coming to you next, about the auction. This is super important. I want the community, businesses, everybody. You sell your market animals at auction, and that's where it's wonderful. And this is where you're really supporting the 4-H program and the 4-Hers is to come in and bid on those cattle. You actually can buy one of those raised market animals, and the fair will take care of it. They'll take it to the slaughter, and you'll get. It's tough, but it's part of 4-H. It's part of farming. It's part of the life cycle, isn't it?
I mean, it's tough when you have a cow you really like.
Right.
If
right.
it's not tough when your cow.
He's not a nice cow.
No, not a nice steer.
Not.
Yeah.
But it's helpful, and if you could appeal to people out there about how important it is to show up at that auction and what night that auction is, Natalie. And
That is going to be on Saturday night. It typically starts at 5 p.m.
The last day
and
of
that
the
is
fair.
the last night of the fair on the 19th, yes. And there's just one more thing I wanted to add to the conversation about the 4-H projects is that in addition to the actual the showing of the animals and the display, the youth also submit a project record book, which is an incredibly detailed, it's almost like a diary of the amounts and cost of the feed that has gone into the animals' production. It has their health records. It has how many times it has been groomed, or the business aspects of it. Have you had donations brought in? And there is at the very end an economic analysis, especially for our market animals. These kids are almost operating small businesses where at the end of the day, they're able to actually see whether it's a profit or loss statement, much like a regular business would be. So in the middle of all of this amazing agricultural work, they're learning business practices, record keeping, communications. It is an absolutely, some of these record books are templates for individuals to start businesses on their own. It's really, really
it's
an
so
amazing.
important. That's incredible to do all that record keeping, and then you can tell at the end of the project, maybe where you could be more efficient with your cost keeping or what have you, whatever
Yes.
it is. But to have all that record keeping right now, that's something that schools really don't have this type of project whatsoever.
Not at
So-
all. Not at all.
And you guys are doing this on top of all your schoolwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot
Yep.
of work. But
It really is.
But so
Yeah.
do they get graded on the record book? As
Well,
part
they
of the
get
projects?
they get if they turn it in and it meets the rubric that is
Okay.
included, we go have a scoring system, and then there are typically awards provided at the end of the program year. So they win awards just for their hard work in the written documents.
That is
so.
absolutely wonderful. I want to come back to a little bit more about other 4-H projects, but before I do, I am very anxious to hear about Grace, because you're on the other end of the scale. This is your first year in 4-H.
Yes.
So what have you learned so far, do you think, in 4-H? Has it been fun?
Yes.
That's the important part, huh? A lot of fun. What's your rabbit's name?
Binky.
Binky. I love that name. What color is Binky?
Black, white, and brown.
3 colors. Oh my goodness. Now, do you give Binky baths?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What are you going to show Binky in? Is it like the showmanship, maybe? Where you take him to the judge's table?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So, is Binky all ready?
Yes.
Has Binky been to the fair before?
No.
both of you, first time. This is exciting. Now, you also have a friend with you today. Who's this?
Bear.
Bear. Is Bear going to the fair with Binky?
No.
No. Well, that's silly. Bear stays with you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So, will Binky have other friends at the fair from your club?
Yes.
So what are you looking forward to the most at the fair?
Showing her.
Showing Binky? What day do we show Binky?
The rabbit show is this Sunday, the 12th.
This Sunday, the 12th. So everybody...
Oh, excuse me, the 13th.
The
It is.
13th.
13th, yes, sorry.
That's
So is that Monday?
It's Sunday.
It
This
is
coming Sunday,
Because
yes.
the fair starts on Friday. So
Correct.
Okay.
I lost a day.
I did too. I was thinking Saturday. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so Sunday the 13th, if you want to see Grace and Binky, she's going to be showing for the very first time. This is Binky and Grace's debut at the Martin County Fair. And Grace, I wish you so much luck. And you can see Binky and all the other bunnies. They have a whole barn or tent full of the bunnies and the fowl, the chickens and ducks. There's so many wonderful animals to look at the fair. And I can't stress enough, we're really fortunate to have this wonderful fair in the community, and it's always one that you can walk around, you see all the animals. It's not overwhelming. It's just a fun time, and of course you got the carnival and stuff too. But myself, I enjoy the 4-H projects, and I want to touch on that a little bit, Natalie. There's more than just animals there, right?
Absolutely. We just have an amazing array of the arts and crafts in the A building at the fairgrounds. There's an arts and crafts division. We have baked goods that come in, lots of cookies and candies and cakes that get judged. Sometimes we have horticultural items like tomato plants. We have beautiful orchids in the gardening division. There's amazing photography. Like you cannot even imagine some of the talent that is coming out of these 4-Hers. There's an entire exhibit devoted to Legos and models, and so it takes a little bit of time to go through and see all of this amazing stuff. In the adjacent building right next to that is our world famous SPAM Robotics, Martin County First Robotics Club, and they are in the process of building their competition robot for this new
wonderful.
fall season. They're going to competition in just a couple months.
They are always
So
amazing.
They are absolutely incredible in there, and they're working their hearts out to get their robot ready.
And Natalie, I need to point out too, what are the age groups in 4-H? Where does it start and where does this
Yeah,
end?
great question. We have Clover Buds, and Miss Grace falls into that category, ages 5 to 7. Our juniors are 8 and up to 10. The intermediate kids are 11 to 13, and then of course our seniors are 14 to 18 years old. So 5 to 18, that's a big span.
And as you walk through the fair and you think about that, you see all the projects, you see all the animals that are there. Everybody there's 5 to 18. That's the projects. You don't have adults participating in 4-H, and certainly 5 is and 6 years old. That's a really early age, and to be responsible. Do you take care of your bunny all by yourself?
Sometimes.
Sometimes Mom helps you out a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. But you're learning to take care of Binky and
Yes.
all the things. Does Binky have any friends at home, or just one Binky?
Only one.
One Binky. So what do you think you'll show next year?
I'm still going to learn about bunnies.
There you go. I like bunnies too. They're so fluffy and fun. Did Binky do anything bad? Did she ever bite or anything?
Sometimes she bites.
She does bite a little bit. Does she like carrots?
Yes.
What bunny doesn't like carrots? Well, folks, this is the Martin County Fair that's coming up. I appreciate we have Grace, Vera, Madison that came in to talk about their projects. They've worked so hard on them all year, and I can't encourage you enough to go out anytime this week, see the fair, the February 11th to the 19th, see their projects, watch them show. The swine again was what day? Monday?
We have Monday and Wednesday.
So Monday and Wednesday, I mean, but all of them, the cattle, it's all so much fun, and these kids work hard. So Martin County Fair, Natalie, thank you so much. Grace, it was such a pleasure to have you. Great job. Vera, Madison, what a pleasure. I wish you all a lot of luck this week on your 4-H projects, and I hope to see you out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
working remotely, internet shopping, retail space, and rental income have been hit hard by COVID. If you're looking to restructure your debt, obtain financing or equity, Commercial Mortgage can help you out. Tim Mullen at Commercial Mortgage has been providing debt restructuring services since 2003. Tim never charges a front fee and all consultations are free. Tim only gets paid if he provides you a debt workout. Looking for a debt solution or financing? Give Tim a call at 772-872-6099 or visit commercialmortgagellc.com to schedule your free consultation.
Treasure Coast Crime Stoppers works because of good tips, and good tips equal dollars and safer communities. Remember, we are available 24 hours a day, and you remain unknown and untouchable. Good tips give names, locations, and descriptions of the suspects. Good tips give the suspect's race, date of birth, sex, weight, and height, plus the descriptions of tattoos, if any. Good tips also give the jurisdiction where the suspect is wanted. Make of car and license plate. Good tips equal dollars. 1-800-273-TIPS. That's 1-800-273-TIPS. Treasure Coast Crime Stoppers works for you. That's 1-800-273-TIPS. Funded by the Office of Florida's Attorney General.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Well, welcome back to the second half of today's program. This program is a lot of fun. We're talking about the Martin County Fair. A lot of work goes into the Martin County Fair. It's going to be February 11th through the 19th. It starts this Friday. And so many wonderful things that happen at the fair. We just had the 4-H'ers in and how hard they have worked in the past year. And like I said, they work all year around for this 1 week to showcase the projects that they've worked on. And with that, there's some other things with the Martin County Fair that I wanted to highlight, and one of them is it has a fair scholarship program. And we're going to talk shortly with the director of that, and that's EJ Duane. EJ, thank you so much for being in the studio this morning. Cold and rainy outside, so, everybody had to make their way here. I know it. The traffic was a little weird coming in today, too. Everybody's driving slower. And we're also going to have last year's winner, Madeline Sheed, in the studio. She is actually delayed from the traffic because, again, everybody's driving slower. But she'll be here shortly. And before we get into the show, of course, I have to thank my wonderful sponsors. Indiantown Marina, it's one of South Florida's best boat storage facilities. They do everything out there. It's a do-it-yourself and full-service boat yard. We have the best of all worlds: electrical, mechanical, prop and shaft work, bottom painting, complete boat painting, boat sitting, so much more. And I know it's early to talk about hurricanes, but folks, I can't stress to you enough, make your reservation today. That way you have peace of mind, because oftentimes people wait until a hurricane is named and it's too late. The boat storage facilities, they're filled up. So at least make your reservation. You can call them at 772-631-3272, 631-3272. And with Indiantown Marina being inland on Lake Okeechobee, you're just not going to find a safer place to store your boat during hurricanes. And also, stop out to the Fish House Art Center. Fun little place. It's down in the Pocket in Port Salerno. They have absolutely all kinds of things there. I can't encourage you enough just to go out there on a beautiful weekend. Check it out. Art gallery, boat charters, has a marina, craft and creamery, the craft beers and wine, and 24 flavors of ice cream. So something for everybody. And of course, you can see the artist as well. But it's a lot of fun things that are happening out there. You can rent paddle boards. And you can find them at thefishhouseartcenter.com. Give them a call, 221-5482. And, or, of course, just go ahead and stop out there. And that's in the Pocket, Port Salerno. Can't miss them. And finally, forbearances, working remotely, internet shopping, retail space and rental income have been hit hard by COVID. If you're looking to restructure your debt, obtain financing or equity, Commercial Mortgage can help you out. Tim Mullen at Commercial Mortgage has been providing debt restructuring services since 2003. Tim never charges a front fee, and all consultations are free. Tim only gets paid if he provides you a debt workout. Looking for a debt solution or financing? Give Tim a call at 772-872-6099. online or visit Commercial Mortgage LLC to schedule your free consultation. So I want to remind everybody the Martin County Fair is this week, February 11th through the 19th, and it's going to be just a ton of fun. I also wanted to mention that they're going to have Montgomery Gentry out there this Saturday, February 12th, and it's going to be the wonderful concert to open the fair up. And I just wanted to say, everybody, I stopped here for a second because I remember my guest last week, Dr. Alessandro Anzalone. He's the campus president for the IRSC Chastain campus. He sings opera, and he's going to be doing the national anthem ahead of that concert. So it's going to be a lot of fun here with some local talent that is intermixed as well. And before we get going here in the studio, I have a very special guest on the phone, and we have to put our headsets on. I think we got one. EJ, there's probably one over there for you. Either one. But we have got to find out what's going on with the Martin County Fair and the Agriplex. How are you doing today, Jay?
We're doing fair. How are you?
We are wonderful. We're so excited that the fair is starting this week. We just had 4-Hers in the studio. Now we're going to have the County Fair Scholarship Coordinator and E.J. Duane and Madeline Sheed here in the studio. And we're so excited about all the things that are happening at the fair. And I wanted to touch base with you to see if you're ready, and also what's going on with the Agriplex. That's going to be the new fair location in the future.
The Agriplex is a whole nother discussion. We're still trying to raise some money to get that going, and we're getting closer. We just need some financial support, and off we go.
Folks, that's the big thing is as you're listening in today and you realize all the hard work that goes in behind the fair scenes is to move this fair to a better location and a bigger location. We need money. And this is the fair's a nonprofit corporation, and they need some help to really move this fair out to a location that's going to be better suited, and it'll be used all year round, right, Jay?
Oh, yeah. The Agriplex is basically the Disney World of agriculture. So when we get it there, it'll have things for all kind of kids and adults, education and entertainment, from archery center to equestrian center and an amphitheater and a working educational farm and so forth. So it's aggressive. We just need to get the basics to get it off the ground first, and then we'll go from there.
Do you have a target as to when you think you're going to be able to be moving out there? Is this going to be next year, you think, or not sure yet?
Well, it's, who knows?
Who knows, yep.
Again,
it takes
all
money.
About money.
Yep, takes money. And Jay, looking forward to this fair this year, and Montgomery Gentry opening it up on Saturday night.
Indeed. The 63rd Annual Martin County Fair, the county's oldest and largest event. Everybody should come. It's not a third of the county in attendance at this event, so any sponsors want to jump in the last minute, come on in with us. But it's all about you all. We don't put the fair on for us or our board of directors. We put it on for our community. Well, it's an inclusive event. It's a family-friendly event. It's a diverse event. This year we've forged a new partnership with the NAACP of Martin County. So we've brought in that whole community. We've got performing arts. And, one of the girls singing the national anthem for the opening ceremonies on Friday is a African-American girl. We've got a nice exhibit of Stewart history in regards to the NAACP, and some other exhibits going on in the building, and we have the Latin nights and things like that. So there's something for everybody, and there's something for every age, for kids and grown-ups and older couples without kids. Like, you don't need a kid in tow to enjoy the fair.
Oh, you don't.
There's lots of music and entertainment and exhibits to see, and of course the food. And it's a cheap date.
Fair food, that's right. Everybody loves fair food.
So Montgomery Gentry, of course, is firing up here on Saturday night. We still have tickets left, so get in.
There can't be many tickets.
We have a gospel afternoon of some of the Florida Gospel Quartet Association groups coming. Monday night is Valentine's Day, so you want to come spend a romantic evening at the fair.
Bring your sweetheart.
And, enjoy a Fleetwood Mac tribute concert
awesome.
For free there. Tuesday is Motown Night, so we have Motown music and a karaoke contest going on one of the other stages. That's becoming pretty popular all of a sudden.
Oh, I bet.
Wednesday night is a house party with hip-hop dancers and fog machines, DJ, and the Chase Band, which is one of South Florida's premier party bands. Thursday is a Rolling Stones tribute show called the U.S. Stones out of West Florida. And Friday is a John Cougar Mellencamp tribute show, concert, over here at the Beer Garden. So, yeah, there's something. We've got bears and circuses and kids' activities, and Nature Nick's back with his reptiles and stands and baby alligators and things. And we have a 50-foot-long miniature Ringling Brothers circus display and a large Hess truck display. So older guys that like model stuff and the railroad room and all that stuff, there's plenty to do around here for sure.
Jay, thank you so much. There is certainly something for everybody at the fair, and it's one short week, so now is the time to get out and enjoy it. MartinCountyFair.com, you can get all the information you need on all the things that Jay just spoke about, and we really hope that we can get some more money raised so that we can have a even bigger fair. I don't know if it can possibly get better, but certainly have more room and make it a bigger fair. So Jay Spicer, thank you so very much for checking in with us today. We are excited, and we're anxious for the fair to start. And with that,
thank you for having me. Tickets are still 40% off until tomorrow. Tomorrow night.
So you can get your tickets early. And is it Seacoast Bank that you can get them at?
No, it's just online or here in the fair office.
Online or in the fair office. So again, MartinCountyFair.com, 40% off. That's a big savings if you can get your ticket now. So, Jay, thanks so much for checking in with us. We're excited, and we'll see you next week.
Have a fair day.
Yeah, you have a fair day too. That's great. So we have so many wonderful things that are at the fair, and I'm so glad to have in the studio. We have Madeline Sheed, right? I don't know why I want to put an L in there, but it
happens. It's okay.
It just slides right out. And then we also have the County Fair Scholarship Coordinator, E.J. Duane. And E.J., you were here with us last year as well. Yep. So we heard about the contest, and this is a really exciting contest. So Madeline, tell us about the Fair Scholarship Program. What's involved, and what was kind of one of the more, fun things for you that you learned over the course of participating? And of course, you've held the crown here this last year.
So our Fair Scholarship Program, it's a pageant. There are some other 4-H scholarships within it, but I participated in the pageant. So it's really a good learning experience just of working with different types of people, and during the pageant and afterwards. We all have different personalities, and we all have so much that we all bring to the table individually. I'm sorry, could you repeat?
No, just go ahead. Just tell us a little bit. Let's just start out with the pageant itself. If you can remember back a year, you probably were a little nervous, and all the girls.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was very nervous just because I struggle kind of with talking in front of people, which is pretty ironic because I was competing again in the pageant. But it's such a fun experience. You're all going through it together, even though it is a competition, and you are competing against each other.
Right.
You're really you're going through it together, so it's kind of just comforting having everybody there, and watching everyone go through everything, just kind of uplifting everyone.
What night is the pageant this year?
So it'll kick off immediately after the opening ceremony this Friday. And the opening ceremony starts at 7, so we'll be doing the pageant around 7:30.
Mm-hmm. So you've already applied for the competition at this point.
No, I can't compete again.
I meant
right.
girls.
She's our current winner, so she'll
yeah.
be helping. She's been helping this whole week with the rehearsals and getting the girls comfortable and ready for the pageant. And she'll be essentially passing the crown and those responsibilities as the fair ambassador to our winner for 2022.
That's going to be so exciting.
Yeah.
So you're helping out, but the girls have already applied. They're ready to go.
Yes.
So at this juncture, you were here a week ago, or a year ago. And what are you doing right now this week when the pageant is just a couple days away?
So during this week, I was really preparing different type of questions. I was just trying to think of things that they could have asked me, just so I was a little bit more prepared. I was looking up pageant walk videos because I can't walk in heels very well, so I was practicing all of that. I was just learning how to do my hair different ways. I really tried to relax because I psych myself out a lot, and I did not want to go into it with more anxiety than the average person would have. Yes. So it's kind of just preparing for pageant things.
Again, this is Madeline Sheed. She is our current reigning queen for the Martin County Fair Scholarship. And what have you done throughout the last year as the reigning queen here?
So for COVID, I couldn't get into the schools as early as I would like to, but I read books to children, and I am kind of just a teacher assistant throughout there. I also am a huge advocate for women in agriculture. I'm in the ag program at my high school, and any type of event that I could have gone to, within my school and my FFA chapter, I definitely, went there and, tried to get more people involved. I was in the Christmas parades, both the Hope Sound and Stewart. Those were a blast. I love getting to see everyone. A lot of my friends went, and my family, and just people that I didn't know, it was pretty cool to see.
Well, it's a lot of fun, especially to participate in those
Oh,
parades.
definitely. And the fair, we get a lot of exposure that way. A lot of people saw the car and saw the pageant and were interested in it, so they signed up that way. It was pretty cool.
So you're an ambassador for the fair, you're an ambassador for the scholarship program. How many girls are competing this year?
We have 12 this year, which is great. We haven't had that many since 2016, the first year that I took over.
Wow.
So we were really excited to get such great participation this year. Madeline was a huge advocate for that, because I think in this day and age when everything's digital and a lot of these contestants are used to social media and not having to physically put themselves out there, it can be very intimidating to participate in something like this where you're, live in person on stage talking to folks. It can be recorded and shared. So it's very intimidating. So we give these girls just huge kudos for stepping out of that comfort zone, as Madeline said, and really taking on the challenge so that they can really better prepare themselves for real life situations in internship interviews and in job interviews, and preparing a resume so that you really stand out from the hundreds of applicants that you might be up against. So we truly credit these girls for participating, and as we've told them at the meet and greet this past Monday, they will certainly walk away with just a sense of accomplishment, and they'll never be able to say that they're not prepared that much more for an interview situation and for talking on stage, which I think all of us have, concerns over when we have to do that. So they'll just be that much more prepared for those real world situations.
Public speaking is tough, and like you said, you're walking in heels. Well, it's fine at home, but now you're doing it in front of this huge audience.
You have a dress on, you have heels, you have to make your hair's right, you're posing right, and
that's really the fun stuff.
You.
These girls are so involved not only in their school in different capacities and sports and academic programs, but in their communities. We've had queens in the past that really use their platform to promote Surfers for Autism or literacy awareness, as Madeline has done this year. So it's really just an opportunity for them to not only be a fair ambassador, but to be an ambassador of Martin County and to promote what they are passionate about too.
So you have a platform that you can promote throughout the year.
Yeah, like through social media and stuff like that.
It's very exciting.
It is exciting. It's cool to have the opportunity to do that.
So do you have to be in 4-H or FFA to be able to participate, or is this open to any girls?
It sure is. It is. It's open to all Martin County high school freshmen, sophomore, and junior girls. And you don't have to have been involved in the fair either to participate. The requirement is really just to be a Martin County high school student, as I mentioned. So we like to say we don't have a perfect mold for who this winner is. It's really just somebody that is proud to be from Martin County and that is proud and excited to be the ambassador for the Martin County Fair. It's always extra special when that individual happens to be someone that is involved in 4-H or FFA, just because they have that much more of a connection to the fair. So Adeline was a great representative of that, but it's really any girl can be Miss Martin County Fair, and that's what we like to promote.
Very exciting. So anybody can apply. You need to do that, I think, in January before the fair.
Yes, we make the applications available just before the holidays, so people have time to think about what they'd like to present and how they want to convey themselves and what they're involved in, and really put that on paper. But just participating in the pageant also makes these girls eligible for a Martin County Fair scholarship. So the Miss Martin County Fair pageant is just one of the many scholarships that the fair awards, but we are also awarding 8 fair scholarships to high school seniors this year, and that requirement is having some involvement in the fair. So for these girls, just by participating in the pageant, regardless of the outcome, that makes them eligible to then apply for a scholarship once they're seniors.
And again, this is a scholarship pageant.
It sure is.
So how many places get some sort of scholarship?
So the winner receives a $1,000 scholarship, and then we also have the top 5. So your first runner-up, second and third and fourth will also receive cash prizes that they can apply towards their academic ambitions after high school.
So what are your academic ambitions, Madeline?
After high school?
Yes.
I plan on going to UCF for nursing. I want to be a nurse anesthetist.
Oh, bless you.
I'm awaiting my results. See if I got in. I know, I'm excited.
It's a great career.
Thank
great
you.
Career choice.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I wish you luck on that, and I bet you will get in.
I'm in the medical program at my high school now, and so just yesterday I was in the nursing home, and we were really volunteering in there. We pretty much were assistants to the CNAs, but we really do everything ourselves, and they're just kind of like watching over. It's such a cool experience, and Not that I will be a CNA, like, that's not what I plan on going into, but it definitely gives you, like, a real taste of what it's like to,
So
you know,
important.
work in a environment like that, and I love it. It's so much fun.
I can tell, and that's so important to be exposed to it. How do you know if you like it if you're not exposed?
Exactly, and that's what I was worried about. I was like, if we don't get in here,
Right.
like with COVID, we were told no for a long time, and then they finally opened up. So,
this COVID has been, we're
I
all
know,
ready to put
it's
this behind
nuts.
us. So
Seriously.
What advice would you give the girls this week? And I'm sure they're all asking you because you're there to help them calm their nerves, explain to them what's going on. You're there as an assistant, kind of coach them through. So
Definitely. The biggest piece of advice I could give them is just to be yourself. It's very nerve-wracking going up there and, you know, having to think on the spot about the questions that they're asking you, but it's essentially just talking about yourself. So, you know, just to kind of relax, you know, take a deep breath and enjoy your time too. It's such a fun thing. It is stressful, you know, thinking about going up there and speaking in front of people, but it's really just to have fun. You know, you're talking about the things that you're interested in, the things that you love to do, you know, your future plans and ways to describe yourself. It's all really fun things.
Just be
be yourself. Exactly.
It's really good advice, actually, and I think that's what makes you shine through if you are being yourself, because you are comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah, and we're all individuals. You know, nobody's the same, so gives you a chance to stand out.
What's your favorite part of the pageant?
Oh my gosh, my favorite part of the pageant is definitely the like getting ready with everyone. It is such a fun time just because you're all laughing, even though, you know, you're about to go on stage and, you know, you're scared, but getting ready, doing each other's makeup or just kind of touching up hair, it's just like girl time. And then definitely after the pageant too, even if you don't win, like the first place and you're on court, you get to be involved in all of the animal shows, events around the fair, you know, the concert. There's just so much to be involved in. It's a really good time.
It sounds like a lot of fun, and I
It is.
bet you make some new friends that you didn't have before.
Yeah, there was, how many girls did we have last year?
I think we had 10 last year.
10? I made, you know, 9 new friends because I was the 10th person, so.
Lots of camaraderie is established during that
definitely.
week, and it's a fun thing to go through, you know, together as a group, and they certainly forge relationships and friendships after that.
Oh, for
just
sure.
That last a long time.
So, EJ, you said you have coordinated this now for 6 years?
Yes.
6 years.
This will be the 7th pageant
Seventh
that my
one.
committee has put on, yes.
Has put on. So what exciting things, you know, if you're talking to other girls that are thinking about doing this pageant, what do you tell them why they should do this pageant? I mean, you got to want to first, but there's always those things that motivate you that say, ooh, that'd be a really good idea, besides the money, of course.
Absolutely. Well, certainly the prizes are definitely a big incentive, and it's not just the money, but we have huge community support. So a lot of local businesses, restaurants make wonderful donations to our prize package. So that's certainly something to look forward to. But what I've always told the girls is that you will come out of this just feeling so much more confident, not just in an interview setting, but just in how you present yourself to the world. And that's so important right now, especially at their age when they are deciding which path they want to take and how they want to present themselves when they are in those situations that very much determine those plans. So I would just say that, you know, no matter the outcome, they're just going to be that much more confident in themselves and how they present themselves in those situations that can be stressful.
So, again, we're speaking with E.J. Duane. She's the coordinator for the fair pageant and has been now for 7 years. It's incredible. And, of course, we have last year's winner, Madeline Sheed, here in the studio. Madeline, I have a feeling that you're going to tell me, you know, through the last year you've had so many different public engagements. Where's your comfort level now going out to speak in front of people and in front of groups compared to where it was a year ago?
I'm more confident speaking out now just because I have been introduced to so many different people after the pageant, you know, different types of, like, community service and stuff like that. I feel more confident now. Just once you go through it and talking in front of them, you guys, it's really not as bad as you think it is. You know, you set yourself up more.
Right.
You know, but definitely it has given me a sense of confidence in myself and everything else that I do. You know, it
does flow into every part of your life.
Yeah,
especially, I think public speaking is one of the more important things
yeah.
that people can learn and acquire a skill for. So to have that is huge, even for your interviews in college or job interviews.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely prepared me more for interviews. You know, I competed twice, 2021 and 2020. In my first year, you know, going into it brand new, I didn't know much, but then that following year I had that prior knowledge of, you know, what to expect during the interview, and it just kind of, it helps you almost prepare for it. And it's just like a real interview, you know, in an everyday thing, you know, in any type of job or an internship, anything that you have to interview for.
So this is so much fun. Again, folks, this is the pageant. It's the Fair Scholarship Pageant. It's going to be this Friday, and it starts at 6 o'clock?
It'll be kicking off right after the opening ceremony that starts at 7.
Okay, it starts at 7. So that's Friday evening. And I don't know if there's a charge to get into the fair on the first day or
It's
not.
$5 admission, but as Jay mentioned, it's heavily discounted tickets right now through tomorrow.
Right,
so
40%
jump on this.
off. So this is a lot of fun. And the pageant is held, I think, at the main stage as you come in.
Correct. Out by the Midway.
Right, out by the Midway. And how many people were out there last year? And I know COVID affects this, so hopefully it's a packed house again this year. But
yeah,
it's got to be a little exhilarating and a little, maybe a little stressful a little bit.
Oh,
but
definitely.
to see all the faces.
There's a lot of people that come and watch. You know, you have everybody's family members, then all their siblings, then their friends, then friends of friends. Then you have your bystanders. But
right.
We have so many adults afterwards that just
yeah.
commend these young ladies for getting up on stage and not just doing it, but doing it well and really representing themselves and the fair and Martin County in the best way possible. So it's always impressive to see them do such a great job on stage.
And it's a lot of fun. And honestly, you're putting this together for the girls. It's you got a couple months at tops to get ready for this. So it's kind of a cram session on how to participate in a pageant. But you've been there to help them along the way. And I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. They're all my little friends. A lot of them are from cheerleading at South Fork. I cheer, or I did cheer. So I recruited them.
Good for you. Good for you.
And we always have past fair queens come and offer to help. So that really speaks volumes because they know what these girls will get from doing this. So it's really nice to see them want to come back and to help with that because they know what this program provides these young women.
EJ, that's so important, and it's like a little family, a little community in and itself. So it's wonderful. This is just one of the many great things at the Martin County Fair, folks. The Martin County Fair is going to happen this coming week, February 11th through the 19th, and there's going to be so many fun events. Jay Spicer was on at the beginning of the show. The concerts, there's rides, the carnival rides, fair food.
Oh yeah, funnel cakes.
I know, sponge and corn dogs, and my favorite is the fries with the vinegar. So love those. But folks, and the 4-H, all the projects, and it's not just animals. It's so many more things. She talked about the robotics, and I know there's cooking and there's sewing, and there's just so many different projects you don't even realize that are covered out in the 4-H program. Did you get involved with 4-H or no?
Yeah, I've shown. I think this is my 6th year showing. Oh, wow. I've always shown my bunny, and then I've shown chickens here and there, and then this is my 2nd year showing beef heifer. I showed dairy last year and actually won Grand Reserve in Showmanship and in Show, so that was super exciting.
You had a really good year last year,
I did.
Madeline.
I won the bunny show too. I won Best in Breed and then Best of Show, so that was pretty cool.
It was your year. This is going to be tough to top
2021 was my year.
And a lot of those exhibitors put that prize money towards their, college ambitions, and whether it be vocational or academic at a university. So
that's what I did.
It's all right.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best of luck here in your academics, and I think you'll be a good anesthetist. And it's a wonderful career. And we just had the half hour before, we had little Grace here, and she's going into bunnies. She's 6 years old, first year in 4-H.
That's so exciting. I was listening on the way here from school.
So cute.
She sounded so cute.
So adorable. So this is kind of the spectrum of 4-H. It's really everything, and it's such an important program, and the fair and FFA, everything that's involved with it. So Madeline Sheed, it's such a pleasure to meet you, and congratulations on this past year, and best of luck to you in the future. EJ Duane, I look forward to having you back next year.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Martin County Fair, folks, this week, February 11th through 19th. Tickets are 40% off right now through tomorrow. Hope you can join the fair.